Well, how was that? A great society showcase, and congratulations to all of the people that have been honored and awarded today. It's one to be nominated and to win, just brilliant accomplishments from our Tag Tech Award winners and nominees, and all of our Society Showcase and Impact winners, and of course our Impact winner for the year. It's just really incredible, and it just shows the powerful technology and innovation we have going in our great state. Well, now's the time for a little bit of a transition. We will be coming back to Society Showcase, and I have to tell you, I was online watching all the feedback and the engagement across the different content modules, and hats off to all the society leaders and their teams that are putting that on. But before we get to that showcase, where we have a little bit of a break in the show and a little bit of entertainment for you. So TAG's very fortunate to have many friends, and I had the privilege and time to spend a few moments with some special friends just a few days ago. They understand innovation, impact, and inspire, and they do this through their music and through supporting others. Natives of our city of Atlanta, these two are legendary, and they've influenced the global music scene. Join me as I share a conversation with Christian and Brandon Bush. Christian is a Grammy Award-winning singer, songwriter, and producer. Also, one half of the multi-platinum selling duo Sugarland. Christian has left his mark on music for more than 2 decades as a frontman, singer, and songwriter for the bands Billy Pilgrim, Sugarland, and Darkwater, as well as his solo albums. Brandon's music career includes time in the studio, playing with John Mayer, Sugarland, and Sean Mullins. And he's also performed globally with Train and Sugarland, 2 really talented guys. Now you can also experience their work at the Alliance Theater and the Atlanta Symphony. And if you're a Say Yes to the Dress fan, they actually sing the lead-in for that show, the theme song. So check it out. We got a great little interview, and they've got some tunes for us. Thank you. Christian and Brandon, thanks for joining TAG and supporting TAG. We're flattered to have you with us and spend the time talking to us. The Georgia Technology Summit is about highlighting and celebrating innovation and technology, that makes Georgia flourish and what makes our economy grow. When I think of the music industry, and which is why we're so excited to have you be part of it, I can't think of anything that has how technology has influenced the music industry. And if you don't mind, I'd love to just jump right into it. And I think, we all know digitization of music changed so much about music. We can get it anywhere, and it changed the way you artists have to perform and how you deliver it. But COVID in particular changed everything, in my view, as a music fan. Can you just talk about how you've adapted? I know that you're running 3 bands, you're doing stuff at the Alliance Theater, you got stuff going on with the symphony. I mean, you guys are everywhere. How have you balanced it, and what changes have you had to make?
Well, we started to eat differently because now we're busy. No, I think the first part is that you talked about is right, which is the digitization of music sort of took the knees out of the price and earning structure of being a creator, right? So we used to make a lot of money because the record labels made a lot of money. And then suddenly when the record labels stopped making money, well, then everybody's got to cinch their belts tighter, right? So they had fewer staff, fewer opportunities. They didn't want to spend as much to promote your music. And then suddenly musicians, we've had to spend the last, 12 years adjusting to ticket prices as the thing that can keep you alive. So it was almost a joke at some point. They were like, oh, your record's like a loss leader. It was like they were talking about bundling them in the ticket for a long time. Like you buy a ticket and you get the record for free if you'll go see the show. And then when COVID hit, suddenly all of that momentum into bands now have to go on the road to make money was completely shut down. And it timed out, which I think, if I'm right, Brandon, this year was the year that record companies started to finally make money again on streaming, right? So we've got this weird bungee jump of a of a reality going on.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that's changed in the evolution of music and technology have always been combined, right? So you got to make the phonograph, you've got to make the tape, you've got to make the CD. It's like it's always evolving at the same time music itself is evolving, right? And recording technology is evolving. And we get to this point where now musicians get to own digital distribution. Now we get to be the distributors. It's no longer the label, right? But we still need promoters, we need venues, we need people to come to venues to get us into the revenue making stream, right? And suddenly, overnight, I mean, within 3 days, we're now in charge of live performance. We're now the gatekeepers. For better or for worse, if you've got a video camera, if you know how to live stream, you are now not only the owner of your digital distribution of your music, but you're now the owner of the digital distribution of your performance. And what a change that'll never go back. That's a box that has been opened and cannot be closed.
Yeah, and I know in particular, you guys have experimented with like social media experts, streaming platforms, but you've also done some pretty interesting things. I think I stumbled across, you released a song via doorbell, via Ring doorbell. Is that right? Yeah. I mean, it's like how creative, like what prompted that?
That was Brianna's idea, by the way.
So, within a week of, what we call the Hanks Wilson moment, where Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson announced their COVID, that they had COVID, and the whole world sort of takes it seriously, is kind of how it felt from us. And incidentally, Benji Shanks, our guitarist, and myself had just been on tour with Rita Wilson, exposed to COVID, but didn't get it. But within a week of that, we have now all have video editing capability in our house. Like, we are getting the software. We're able to record at home. We're able to do these things ourselves. And so we're going to we have new songs to come out with our band Dark Water, but we need video content, but we cannot physically be around each other. So we're making at-home videos. And it was, I guess, the third of those, there were singles we were putting out. It's called Need a Friend. And it just felt right that our contact with people was limited to doors, right? It was who was bringing my groceries, that's it. Like, that's where we saw people, was sort of at your doorbell. And we just thought, okay, what a great way to record this song. Now,
it was a weird phone call. It was like, Brandon's like, hey man, I need you to go stand out in front of your own door. And then I need you to play the song into your doorbell camera. And then go like you're like downloading the Intruder video. Yeah. And send it to me, and I'm gonna edit it together.
Yeah. It's a brilliant cut, though. I mean, all of us at TAG need to go check it out on YouTube. It's creatively brilliant, and for a brand new band that you've created, just a great way to release a song. And it's intriguing, it's engaging, and a time when we were all locked up. I mean, what a great way to bring that together. Follow-on question to that. Music, and we're talking about technology, but the irony is music's all about creativity and inspiring and thoughtfulness. So you're blending kind of two things that always don't work together. And it's about collaboration. That's what I love about music, is it's highly emotive. And I'm a marketer by trade. It's how I pay my bills. It's, to me, that emotive, compact, and the storytelling is what's so fascinating about music. Digital and tech, has it enabled more bands or constrained more bands? Like, what's the world going to look like? Is it, because you can collaborate like this, and we're talking remotely, but how's it come together? I mean, there's a part of creating music that requires contact, I think.
I feel like the collaborative creative has gotten, just like everybody else, has accelerated. Mainly because of the same reason that, let's say, now you probably have zero barrier to entry to do continuing ed at a university on Zoom, right? Your brain just does not consider that lesser of value than having been in the room, right? So from a collaborative standpoint, I think what you've erased a lot of distance, right? So I can write songs with people where I would normally have to get on an airplane and go to London or go to LA or whatever from Atlanta, which one of the reasons we live in Atlanta, because we can fly there. We're in the flight. But that has gone away now. Now we can collaborate at 2:00 no matter what. And we can make stuff that we couldn't have made if we didn't have this sort of relational digital communication and the acceptance that this has value, the same as it would if we were in a room. Because we're forcing that value on it, because songwriting or collaboration in music is an immediate thing. And Zoom is frustrating because there's a delay. So when I sing something and you want to sing along with it, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And the more you try to clap at the same time as the other guy, the more you realize this is never going to be okay. So you adjust how you make things. Now, are there going to be more or less bands as a result of this? I think a lot of people don't consider being a creative a real job still. World. I think most people have like a problem with, like, we try not to, because we've been working our butts off our whole lives to continue this sort of temporary state of let's make things and see if they'll pay us for it. And like 30 years later, you're like, oh my gosh, it's still happening. But it's going to be hard to convince somebody right now that they got to go to their parents and be like, man, I'm not going to go to college. I'm going to go play in a band. And they'll be like, really? Because there are like no gigs. And there's no venues, and there's going to be only 12 people there, even if they let it be sold out. You know, it's like there's a lot of reasons not to do it. But I think a lot of people changed what was important to them in the last 12 months. I think a lot of people were like, you know what? Forget being a lawyer. I'm going to go, I'm going to be a beekeeper. I think a lot of us had to take the gut check. And being creative is so much more natural than you think it is in every part of your life. So I think in the end, there'll be more bands, but I think this time you might have bands that, hadn't met each other in real life until after their first record.
Yeah.
I think that we need awe in our life. We need to be awed by things. And it's why we go to concerts. It's why we go to movies. It's why we go to art museums. It's why we get out and engage in the world, right? And I think that was taken away from us for a period of time, and we needed to go out and find it again. And that urge is there. And so I think that drives the need for creatives. And I think that there's this other thing, that some of the great virtuosic abilities in this world, these great people, for months and months and months to get good at what they do. And I'm so interested in what's going to happen in 10, 15, 20 years from now, what we're going to be listening to because of these people who just like cleared their schedule and just like, you know what, I'm going to get really good at the accordion right now and just wait, world, here it comes. So I think that there's some beauty, not just in music, but art in general will have something to say about this last year, not next week, not in 5 because of this pandemic.
And isn't Darkwater a little bit of adapting to the way? I mean, I've learned a little bit about how you guys produce music. I mean, as from like you guys are passing stuff over at Christian, and he's like taking a bit of music and trying to put lyrics to it. That I think is a great adaptation of how you guys have been. The songs are brilliant, by the way, I love them. But can you share that with how you guys are doing that and how you're using technology for that?
Yeah, we, one of the kind of conceits of this group, because the three of us with Benji we're working together all the time, and we're doing different projects. We do different kind of things, but we really wanted to just do a project that was kind of for us and for fun. And that's what Darkwater came out of. And one of the conceits of it was that we would get the instrument out of Christian's hand. And he's such a prolific writer that that would kind of force a different process. And as an experiment, and we really enjoyed how that worked. I think we got an interesting result, both out of Benji and I just trying to write music and not think about that arc of the lyric and the melody and what makes it great in our normal work, right? And Christian having to do that same sort of process of like, what if what if he couldn't get in there and tell me to go to the next chord? Like, and how would that feel and what would change lyrically? So it was such an easy adaptation. Once we were all three isolated in our homes, well, it's just same process. And we found a way to share our digital workstation files so we could just like Dropbox them to each other and just without losing a beat, keep working on that.
Yeah, that's
and most
great.
of this new record that we're just finishing up now was born in that time.
Yeah, it's crazy to listen back to this stuff because the mindset, I just immediately go back into those moments. And you just kind of forget that, like all outdoor spaces became parks. You just forget all those little details of all the strangeness of like April or May of last year.
So I know our time's running short here. I'm going to go into rapid fire.
Okay.
So I got 3 questions for you, and then we'll wrap it up. But favorite venue to perform in Atlanta?
I just, by the way, I do have a list of all venues just to make sure I've played them all. And I'm still short a couple. My probably favorite one, Atlanta, probably, just because I've seen so much there. And it is a little mysterious. You're not quite sure if it's haunted. You're not quite sure, when you're lost backstage, how to get out. Like you go around corners and there's gargoyles. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You were really good at rapid fire.
Something.
All right. Best memory from being on the road?
I'll take this one.
Yeah, go ahead, rapid fire.
I walked down a hallway from a concert to catering next to Billy Preston. And I will never forget not only how awesome that was, but also the fact that I couldn't come up with any real question to ask him. And I was just like, you're good at keyboards.
That's funny. All right. Live or studio?
Yes.
Studio. 100% for me, studio.
Studio. You know what's the most fun? And I learned this early on, but we did a lot of Sugarland records this way, and Billy Pilgrim records, is the recording that you're hearing is a live take. So you get all the musicians on the floor at the same time. And I learned this the hard way in that once you're done with that 3-minute song, you can immediately tell when it's the thing that's going to go on the radio.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. And
Let's go play some
Let's go
music.
play some stuff.
We gotta
Thanks
go
so
in the
much.
other- So yeah, thank you.
bye now.
It's bank robber Benji today too.
I know, I like it.
There it is.
We all got to find a way to make a living right now.
That's right. we have not taken up the life of crime yet. Always say yet. Welcome to Dark Water, everybody. Yeah, man. me that you'll be mine. Come out, what gift would you bring her? Come out, tell me did you see her? Come out, play in the sunshine. Come out, tell me that you'll be mine. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's just keep going.
This is the story of three men who are just getting out of prison. And the things they've done to put them in prison are going to keep them out of heaven. And while they were in prison, they found God. And they gotta find a different way in. Got much time, tick-tocking, slipping like the sun. And everyone's afraid if they go down, we all go down. No one's coming back. What you're crying? Tell the truth. Ain't got much, you don't know which way to run. We all go down and no one's coming back. Our time is brief, no time to grieve. Block the roads out of the prison. Struggle steps, burning praise as we go. If heaven won't let us in through the front door, gotta find a different way to get there. A different way. A different way to get there. We've all done things full of shame. You can't take back, you can't shake the blame for the road that turned to brow that fall to ash. Please let us pass. We are not thieves, just pilgrims to the promised land. It's the boys gonna need a better plan than that. Our time is brief, no time to grieve. Leave the mountain where you found it. Struggle steps, burning prayers as we go. If heaven won't let us in through the front door, gotta find a different way to get there. A different way. Gotta find a different way to get there. that trying. Trying to find a different way to get there. We ain't got much time, tick-tocking, slipping like the sun. Everyone's afraid if they go down, we all go down, no one's coming back. That was awesome. That was fun. Thanks, guys. Have a great summit. Thanks for having us.